3 of Lickitung, Sableye, Medicham, a very meta team in the Great League. I'm going to see how it performs. Bird Power, if you're unfamiliar, just won the Salt Lake City Regional Championship. 16-year-old girl. I've had the pleasure of meeting her and her aunt a few times at these in-person events. Very nice, very humble, and very happy for her to showcase what she's capable of and bring home a championship at one of these Play Pokemon regionals and get a full expenses, well, not full expenses, but most expenses paid trip to Yokohama, Japan to compete in the World Championships next year. So shout out to Bird Power. We're going to be running her team. And if you guys, it's a few days since she won, but if you guys want to see me do a full analysis of the top 8 from Salt Lake City, feel free to comment that or like this video. Let's say if we get 1,000 likes, that's kind of a lot of likes for this channel. So, but I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll say 1,000 likes. That's a lot of likes. We rarely break 1,000. So if we get 1,000 likes on this video, I will do a breakdown of the Bird Power run, as well as the top 8 from Salt Lake City, and also address some of the controversy that was on Twitter, which I kind of disagree with, and give my thoughts on it. So yeah. But that said, Licky, Sableye, Medicham, 2 very strong Pokemon, of course. I'm sure you guys see these Pokemon quite often. In our first battle here, our opponent makes a nice catch, but I baited with Body Slam. So it actually works out pretty well for us, because we would have wanted to Body Slam Drapion anyway. And this is going to make this more comfortable for Medicham. That Lantern did store some energy, so we got to be cognizant of that. Another move coming in from Drapion. I know I can live this, especially since I didn't get debuffed. Now I get debuffed. Gonna throw my Ice Punch to pressure a shield or take out the Drapion. And they let it go. I've got a Psychic banked already, so I'm just gonna throw it instantly, expecting the Lantern to come in. And there is Mr. Lantern. Lant Money, as we like to call him. And perfect scenario. It's actually a charge move priority. Medi winning CMP here. Man, all the thousands, tens of thousands of battles I've played, and sometimes still can't remember like who wins CMP here, right? You'd think you would just like have it down by this point, but this game, although on the surface, right, seems pretty simple, and it is simple in some ways, but there's just so much to it if you look at it from a different perspective like that, like all the attack stats and CMPs that are kind of awkward. So we see the Altaria come in. Sableye does tend to struggle with Altaria, so I decided to chip it here with a Body Slam, and then I swap in my Sableye. And this should make it more comfortable for Sableye, because now I can just go straight Foul Play. And by the time these Shadow Claws start to add up, it'll be close to Foul Play range. Debating whether I want to commit my shield or not. I decide I will, because I think I should get to this next Foul Play. Oh, and they actually went for it. They went for the home run Moonblast, which would have made things difficult. But now I definitely get this off. And I'm going to get a farm down. Lantern is going to have to expend energy here to take me out. And there was still a Lickitung lurking in back. So Sableye going to get us win number 1 with this team. Let's go. And it's on to the next one. Yeah, also let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me for like every single regional do like a breakdown of the top 8. There's been 3 already for North America, in which I haven't attended. I was just kind of taking a bit of a break, but in a couple of months I will be competing in my first one, and I'm planning on competing in multiple after that as well. So let me know if you'd like to see me do a breakdown of every regional top 8. If I did the whole regional, I feel like that'd be a little bit much. I think top 8 is plenty. Unless maybe there's like some crazy battle I want to highlight from day 1. That'd be pretty cool content, I think, too. We're here against a Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is super annoying. No disrespect to Nidoqueen, but super duper annoying. Poison Fang. I don't want to get farmed down, so I decide to swap. I lure out the Lickitung, and this isn't that bad for Sableye. It's like not good, obviously. Lickitung definitely has a favorable matchup here, but we're not threatened by Body Slam, right? We're only threatened by the Power Whip. So Lickitung does have to expend a fair bit of energy to threaten us with its charge moves. The tough thing here is like our fast moves obviously do virtually nothing to Mr. Lickitung. We're going to go for a foul play bait here. I figure he might respect the return. He does, so that's good. And we're going to land a foul play here to put this into more manageable farm down range for one of our back Pokemon. I tried to catch my Power Whip on the Power Whip on my Lickitung unsuccessfully. So now I'm just going to counter down. In comes Nido. This is just a Fang, so I know I can take this. And what's going to be in back, we will never know. So probably like a Scrafty, I would guess. Something weak to Medicham. Scrafty would make sense. People like to pair Nidoqueen with Scrafty. Garita is the opponent. Licky into Swampert. Favorable for Licky, but Swampert's such a beast that it can hold its own here too. Especially if Swampert's willing to play out the 2-shield scenario. I think it can win this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Swampert can win the 2-shield here. They do have to respect the Power Whip. Just because Hydro Cannon's so spammy, and eventually, as you see, like, the Mud Shots add up to the point where 2 Hydro Cannons is basically enough. They swap in Drapion. We don't have an obvious answer to Drapion on this team, so once again, we're going to chip and dip. Chip with the Licky, go into Medi. And gonna take the first one. I think you always want to take the first one on Drapion. They actually sludge us. So an interesting play to sludge. Excuse me. We're gonna shield here, respect the next one. And now I'm like, oh, can I actually farm this down here? And we get the full counter down. Let's go. Got all this energy for Swampert, and I'm like, man, I don't want this to go to waste. I actually probably live a Hydro, just barely. But I know I can get off 2 Psychics if I'm willing to shield. So I'm going to throw 1 here. Bang. I catch on Licky. And I'm just hoping that giving up Switch here doesn't cost me if like my Licky was valuable. Ends up being a Noctowl. So this is a little bit interesting. Noctowl is either at 3 or 4. Maybe 4 here. Or actually, is it 5? I think I remember it's actually 5 and I thought it was 4. So I go 1, 2, and I throw because I thought it was 4, but he was actually at 5 because this is a CMP tie. And this is like best case scenario because now Noctowl is going to be dry. Going for the Sky Attack. They actually undercharge it slightly, which gives me 1 extra counter. And now we just have to be worried about the catch. We just can't allow them to catch a return or something. So I just commit to the to being a little bit patient there. Now I've got double foul play. Double foul play going to do more than 1 return. So might as well go for double, especially since I'm not at risk of getting KO'd from a Shadow Ball or a Sky Attack. And that is a GG, Mr. Noctowl. Gotta Karch him all, fellow Wisconsinite, terrific battler. Licky into Shadow Golbat. Whenever I see Karch's name, I always get scared because he's usually running like Shadow Porygon 2 or something. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't lose to a Shadow Porygon 2. So I just don't know what to expect. I'm like expecting there's a Porygon in back right now. So I'm like, how the heck am I going to take out the Porygon if I come in here? But Double is pretty good in my opinion. It's fairly bulky. It's very spammy with double kick, body slam, and it's one of the few normal types that can fare well against like steel types. And here I make a critical error, man. Critical error. I could have farmed down there, but I got scared and went for the Ice Punch. I could have farmed down there. And now this is brutal. It's actually a Scrafty. It's actually a Scrafty. How about that? And now this is like really awkward because like my Sableye back doesn't do great against Scrafty, but it doesn't do that bad. So Licky's just going to have to be an energy absorber here. Just take all this damage from Golbat. I'm really hoping I don't get Wing Attack down here. I'm really hoping I can get to a Body Slam, but I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, he realized he was going to have to throw a Poison Fang. And then check out what happens here. He's still switch locked, so I'm going to spam right away, and I come in with the wrong Mon. And I top left out of frustration. As you can see by my elo, like, guys, not to, like, complain about, I don't know, when people say, like first world problems, right? Like, I know my elo is still pretty high, but, like, I'm not trying to tank or anything. Like, I was at 3,200 last week, and I'm down to 28 now. Like, I've been in a bit of a rut, GBL-wise, so just trying to figure things out. Definitely on a big dip down, and I think part of it is I've got so many, like, competitive formats going on all the time with, like, the Gym Breaker World Championship, the Sylph World Championship, factions with Stadium Elite. It's like GBL, sometimes I just, like, don't take it as seriously. So, like, I'm just kind of interacting with chat. I'm not as focused, and I'm throwing a few games here and there that maybe I would otherwise win if I was just, like, actually concentrating. So I think it's a combination of that. It's a combination of the competition is great. And it's brutal, man. It's brutal. I talk about this from time to time. Some people get mad at me because they think it's dumb when I say this, but it's, I'm thankful that I'm in a position where I have you guys supporting me in this audience where when I lose, I typically get tagged on some sort of social media by the person's, like, saying GG's that they beat me. And it's like, and I've come to the point where, like, I'm thankful and appreciative that people are excited to play me, but you also have to remind yourself, like, if put yourself in my shoes, like, I'm sure a lot of you guys are competitive as well. If every single time you lost, people posted about it on social media, it would get a little bit tiresome at times and get to you a little bit mentally. So it's the best of both worlds. It's been something I've gotten better at dealing with, especially from the early days when I would really let it get to me. But if you tag me GG's after you beat me in GBL, like, if I don't respond, it's nothing personal. It's just like, that's the 8th time today, right? It's the 8th time. And, like, was it a GG's or was it getting hard countered? I don't mean to sound like a grumpy old man, but it is what it is. I still got to work on myself, I think, maybe in that regard. I don't know. But anyway, we're going on like a tangent of like philosophy right now. But we got Lickitung against Skuntank. And this is surprisingly a very close matchup. Lickitung can win this, I think, in the ones. But I decided I'd rather just let it go down here. Going to come in with Sableye, Shadow Claw down. And this is pretty good, right? Swampert. So Skuntank was probably his best answer to our Sableye. And now we're in a pretty neutral matchup here. And I'm trying to predict what's in back. I'm thinking, like, okay, he has a Skuntank lead, so he's weak to G-Fisk. So he's probably got, like, either a safe swap or something else that beats G-Fisk. But it's a Trevenant, so this is pretty brutal. And I don't know if we can win this one. I would have had to preserve the Sableye to win this. I would have definitely had to shield the Hydro Cannon to have a chance here, but now that Trevenant just has so much energy, man, I go for the shield here. Our opponent wisely throws the C-Bomb right away, knowing that I have the Ice Punch. This was really smart by them. And now it's like, what the heck do I do, right? Because the Swampert's still there. If I take this out, I probably just get farmed down and lose. But, like, if I don't take it out, then I just get farmed down. So, it's kind of an impossible situation. And well played by the opponent. They're going to go for the full Mud Shot down. And they'll have the move here for Mr. Medicham. Oh, and a little bit of a flex with the Earthquake. Nicely done, opponent. Nice flex. I like it. Oh, that was Snots. Yeah, he's a young kid, a terrific battler. Competed at Worlds last year. And we're on to the next one. Who we got? Wing Mastiff. Licky versus Shadow Swampert. Shadow Swampert's such a beast, man, that like 2 Hydro Cannons basically takes out a Licky. So I'm going to overfarm. I'm going to allow him to hit me with the first one. The thing is, like, here's a tip. If you're in this matchup, right, Lickitung versus Shadow Swampert, and you're afraid that they're going to, like, Earthquake you, in a sense, if they Earthquake you, that's, like, almost better, right? Because all they need is 2 Hydros. So if they're Earthquaking you, like, they're kind of wasting energy, because the Earthquake's not going to one-shot. They're still going to have to Hydro you. So, yeah. And then they safe swap their Sableye while storing a Hydro. I know I can tank a Foul Play here. So this is actually pretty good for me. I can tank the Foul Play. I can get off my Power Whip. And then I can go into my own Sableye. And they shield the Power Whip, which makes this a little bit more comfortable for me. Because now I can just safely overfarm a bit and eventually take him out with a Foul Play now that his shields are gone. Gonna go for the Foul Play here, take him out. I'm aware that the Swampert still has a little bit of health. So I'm just trying to be cognizant of that. I feel like it might be a Skarmory, but no, it's actually a Frostlass. And then I predict the swap. 1 Shadow Claw took out the Swampert. And that is a GG. Medi got to take the battle off. Medicham on load management, that battle. Like Kawhi Leonard. By the way, NBA season starts tonight. Oh my god, I almost forgot. I'm super excited. A lot of you guys know I'm a big basketball fan. Let me know if we've got any fellow basketball fans in the comments. Let me know which team you support. Who you think's going to win the finals this year. I'm a little bit biased, but I feel like the Bucks have as good a shot as anybody. And uh-oh. Warning. If you run the Bird Power team, Double Charm is nearly unbeatable. I don't know if you can beat Double Charm with this team unless your opponent just like gravely misplays. Especially like Wiggly being one of the Charmers, because your Lickitung cannot deal with it very well. So I'm like playing this out just in case it's not Double Charm. But in the back of my mind, I'm knowing like, okay, if this is Double Charm, I just lose. Body Slam. Oh man, like the next Body Slam won't even KO. This is so brutal. So brutal. Get off this one, which will take out the Wiggly, but he still has 2 Pokemon and Switch Advantage. We basically just have our Medicham left. And it's actually a Skarmory, so it wasn't Double Charm. I decided to go for a Psychic here to maybe fish for like a defense debuff. And I thought like maybe if I get a defense debuff, I could get a counter down. But doesn't look like it. If I had gone straight Ice Punch, let's see. Ice Punch is 12, 12, 12, is it? So I would get... Oh yeah, I wouldn't even get to 3 Ice Punches before he would get to 2 Sky Attacks. So yeah, I don't think that would have made a difference. And Sirfetch'd going to take us out here in the end. Nicely played by the opponent. Don't think we realistically could have done much that game. Actually, I take it back. If I had swapped... Oh, you know what? If I had swapped Medi, maybe we have a chance. Because if we swap Medi, they probably swap Wiggly, right? They don't go Skarm. If we swap Medi, they swap Wiggly, we can get it low enough. Or maybe it's more manageable and then Sableye sweeps. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Lickitung versus Mr. Swampert. We've seen this a few times now. Swampert building up loads of energy. Look at that little roar from Swampert. He's aggressive today. Going for a Body Slam here. Grab a shield. This is enough for an Earthquake. So here's a situation where I do respect a potential Earthquake with a shield, since it would be lethal, most likely. Going for a body slam. I grab the second shield. Definitely going to let this go because I live. And I get a little squirrely here. I wasn't sure if I would reach the power whip. And I probably would have, but the thing is, if I commit to the power whip there, it's so easy for my opponent to just like snipe me with one fast move. And now, whenever you see a Swampert, you know there might be a Skarmory back, right? So I decided to just eat this, and then I instant swap. And this is actually looking pretty good, depending on what's in back, because oftentimes it's going to be like a Sableye or some sort of safe swap. Swampert Skarmory, like the most common core in GBL, right? They cover each other's weaknesses super well. I was good on my counting here, so I overformed the perfect amount. I win charge move priority against the Skarmory. I know that Swampert is dry and only has like a few HP, so I just got to be a little bit concerned about the catch, just like last time. And what I decided to do is I actually just bank my return and I swap. And this way, like, the Walreign's going to be forced to use its energy to take out Medicham. And they actually Earthquake. And this is fine. I'm only going to get off an Ice Punch here. Not going to do very much to Walreign, of course, but does some damage. And we're going to return here. We're going to return Walreign back to its Pokeball. Go back to your Pokeball, Walreign. And we get the win. There we go. And I think we got a couple more battles. 1 or 2 more battles. Here we go. Vidge. A fellow streamer, by the way. If you want to check him out, feel free. On Twitch. So, you may think this is a bad lead. It's not, I wouldn't say it's great by any means, but it's actually not that bad because Skarmory just doesn't have the best moveset, right? Air Slash is not a great fast move. So we're okay just taking this. We know we can live a Brave Bird. And if he swaps out, he gives us Switch. So this is terrific. He gives us Switch. We're just going to Ice Punch here right away. Nothing fancy. We want to make sure we get our Sableye on the Skarmory if possible. I shield the Earthquake here. And I decide to throw my Ice Punch to either get a shield back or to not have to take another Earthquake here. And he lets it go. He comes in with Sableye. So here's a situation where I do not want to stay in here. This is a horrible matchup for Medi. I'm going to throw this Ice Punch so I can get out into Lickitung. And I was a little bit patient there, right? I wanted to Power Whip, but I'm like, wait, he might catch this. So I didn't tap it. I saved the energy. And now these body slams are going to really threaten the Skarmory here. So that may seem like a pretty simple play, but I thought that was actually pretty good. Also, this is a misplay. I could have just farmed down here. There's no way he lives one more lick. So I get farmed down there. And then this is like kind of weird because the Sableye has so much energy. So what I decided to do is just come in with Medi and just to use it basically as like a shield. Like Medi is our third shield. And then we swap into the mirror here. And we should be in a good spot. Can take one foul play from this range. And should be able to just Shadow Claw down. And that is a G to the G. There we go. We cap off the set. I believe that was a 4-1 and a 3-2. 3-2. Full disclosure, I did go negative with this team in the set after this. It was pretty brutal. But I think this team definitely is strong. As long as you can avoid Double Charm. Double Charm is certainly a weakness. So if you're someone that is like, I am not losing to Double Charm, that is too annoying and too unskillful. Hot take. Feel free to maybe put this team on the reserves and maybe a team with like more charm coverage, because we only have like Lickitung as a neutral answer to charm, and even Wigglytuff is going to beat Lickitung pretty soundly. So Definitely, Double Charm is pretty tough to beat with this team. Single Charm, if you can line up Lickitung with it, not that bad. Because Lickitung can at least hold its own. And then Medicham can clean up most of the time. Because the most common Charmers, right, are Wigglytuff, Alola Ninetales for the most part. And they're going to take neutral damage from Medi's counters. We catch the Espeon as a reward. And that's all she wrote, folks. Shout out one more time to Bird Power and her championship. Congratulations. We had a little bit of fun running her team. Feel free to try it out if you want as well. Go follow Bird Power as well on Twitter. Send her congratulations if you want. That said, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new. All that said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.